Episode number 202.
You need to do your research. You need to go on forums. You need to go on Facebook groups, and you need to listen to what the problems that you have experienced in a particular sector.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, I'm pumped up today because after this show, you actually might be able to learn how to build a profitable online membership business. And we're super pumped because we have our featured guest today, Jonathan Denwood. Jonathan, are you ready to be real?
Yes, I am, Travis. I'm ready.
Let's do this. My man is the CEO of WPtani, and he helps specifically in online membership businesses, folks, and making profitable online membership businesses, most importantly, and building those through e-learning, which is a whole new, obviously, topic that many people maybe do or do not know about. And maybe you can tell us a little more about it, but through e-learning and helping people scale and sell courses online. And it's huge now. So we're excited to have you on the show today. First off, how's your day going today?
It's going quite well. It's been busy.
Busy day?
Yeah.
Every day is busy, huh, as an entrepreneur?
I've already done my own podcast. I've already been on somebody else's show, and I've had 2 online meetings. So it's been pretty busy.
And tell us a little bit about, first off, let's talk about the business. Let's talk about the WPtani and kind of what you do and how you help those that want to maybe have a profitable online membership business. Maybe they've never done that. Maybe a lot of people are like, I got this online presence, but I've never done anything with it.
Yeah, sure, Travis. Well, basically, we're really committed to WordPress and building e-learning courses using the power of WordPress. WordPress powers now 35% of all websites.
Wow.
And I think in the next couple of years, it will probably go up to 50% of all websites
50%.
powered. And so you have all the enormous library of plugins and support and the community that is being based around WordPress. And I've been involved in WordPress for the past 10, 12 years. And I do a leading podcast in the WordPress community.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that podcast too, because that's really exciting to hear about. Tell us about your show, your podcast show. It's talking all about WordPress.
First of all, I'll just quickly go through what WPtani, and then I can tell you a bit about the podcast, if that's okay.
Of course.
With WPtani, we offer a kind of DIY platform where we provide the hosting, really quality hosting, because you need better hosting when you're going to build a course than some really cheap share hosting, which you can buy for $4 to $10 a month. You need some better hosting than what you're going to get with that. And then we provide all the software, all the WordPress software that you would need to build a great e-learning experience. And then we provide support where we make sure the plugins and the core of WordPress are all updated. And if the site gets hacked, we will deal with it. So you can just concentrate on building a great website and a great course. And then after that, we offer some more hours of support where we can help you build out some functionality that you don't want to do yourself. And then finally, we can build the whole thing for you from semi-custom to full custom design. Plus, we develop plugins, themes that are around somebody wanting to build a course. So we offer a wide number of services from the DIY person to the person that wants a total build out. And then finally, people that want to migrate from SaaS platforms like Teachable or Kajabi that have found some of the limitations that there are with those kind of systems that want to go to WordPress. We help them migrate to WordPress, Travis.
Got you. So a lot of people are trying to move from those platforms into their own platform.
Well, yeah, I think that you've just put the key words there. You just said their own, and that's the great thing. It's a bit like renting an apartment or buying your own home. Renting an apartment is great at certain stages of your life, but I think most people want to own their own home if they can.
Right.
And that's what you get with WordPress. You get your own e-learning platform. If you get fed up with WPtani, you can get it moved somewhere else. You're not stuck with the limitations and the price structures of a SaaS platform.
Right. Yeah, because there's a lot out there like Skillshare and all these different platforms, right?
There's a few of them. Yeah, there's really because e-learning is a very big market with different sectors. But I would say there's about half a dozen real players out there that compete with WordPress, basically.
So then that leads me into your show then. Tell us what the show about, the podcast, and also when did you start the podcast?
Oh, it's about 5 years ago. We were on
Nice.
episode 408.
Yeah.
I do two podcasts per week around WordPress.
That's awesome.
I do a Thursday show with a co-host, Adrian, who is the CEO and founder of a very popular WordPress plugin called Groundhog.
Okay.
Which is a direct competitor to things like ActiveCampaign.
Oh, okay.
It's email marketing, CRM. And he runs that, and he's my co-host. And we interview people around e-learning, around online marketing, or their leading personalities in the WordPress community.
Wow.
And then on Friday mornings, I do a podcast which is a round table discussion with a panel of WordPress experts and community leaders. And we just discuss the weekly news in WordPress and on the internet in general. And that's a real blast. But that's aimed at more the WordPress developer, consultant, power user type of person.
So give them those tidbits that they might not have caught up on that week.
Yeah, but round tables are always a blast, aren't they?
Right.
You know,
you get different personalities on the table.
Yeah, it's a bit like you, Travis. But
exactly. Cuckoo.
But I'm just the cat herder on the podcast. I just try and keep things in order. Really,
That's
Travis.
awesome. Hey, well, you're an OG in the game. Let's just put it that way, folks. Because as podcasts, as you know, folks, podcast isn't going away. So you've been doing it for 5 years, putting in that work, 400 plus episodes. And the steam engine is rolling for you. I can only imagine you're going to continue to do as many as podcasts as you're already doing. Maybe add more. You never know.
I don't feel burnt out. I just love podcasting. I love talking to people, and it's really helped my business an enormous amount. So there's the combination. Now, to really sustain something, obviously you've got to have income, but also you've got to have a love and passion for a particular thing if you're going to continue doing it for a substantial period of time, don't you, Travis?
Oh yeah, and you're building a media business too, in a way.
I think that's one of the, it's slightly off topic then, but I think it's still very relevant because e-learning, it's about media, isn't it? But I think all businesses now, if they're going to sustain themselves, they've got to be aware to some extra degree through social media and other platforms like YouTube, podcasting, that in all successful businesses are involved in media to some extent, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And a lot of them are hiring ex-journalists and doing all the different types of things because the broadcast industry, as you know, is a fleeting industry. It's changing over the last 10 or so years that I've seen it personally. It's been changing. But then that also leads me into my next question for you, my man, is what type of real industries work best on e-learning? It can't be everything.
I understand why you say that. There's certain areas that have a traditional drawing to e-learning, but I think we're only on the tip of a wave here.
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways, some sectors have, I wouldn't say damaged, but given a certain flavour, which has been unfortunate. But I think the glory days of e-learning have just begun, really, Travers. Now, the sectors, obviously coaches, personal trainers, coaching in general, things around internet marketing, they were the kind of starters in the field. But I think it's broadened out to many different subjects. I've just had a new client sign on who's based in the Middle East, in one of the Arab Emirates, and they provide training and set up in the X-ray for dentists and for doctors and for hospitals.
Wow.
So they set up all their equipment, and then they provide ongoing training and maintenance of their equipment. And they're hired us to build a training portal for their clients to come on board, because they work with the people that actually run the equipment.
Right.
And they're looking for online. So you would never have thought of that as a possible client, would you, Travis?
Yeah, a little different type of service, almost educating the people that are working at your facilities.
Exactly. And I think more businesses are going to be looking at this in a way, because in some ways it adds extra value. It's a differential from your competitors. You actually, we've got this fully online training course and you'll be onboarded. So I think everybody, apart from price, is looking at a way of separating themselves from the competition, aren't they, Travis?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I just recently had a guest talking about internal marketing. It's just all about that. It's you looking at your internal audiences as your staff, your team members. A lot of times in a business, especially depending on the size of the business, the marketing team is doing something completely different than the people that are working on the front lines. So they're doing something different. They don't even talk, unfortunately, some of these people. And it's just fascinating. I think that you're right. I think that a lot of the businesses are going to be trying to create e-courses just for their own teams. I think
exactly. And then I think a lot of the time, and I'll be interested to see what you think about this. I think when it comes to the internet, a lot of the time there's a lot of waffle. There's a lot of pumping up things that are not totally correct. But when it comes to, I think building a course as a part-time gig,
right,
and building a following and building an online course, and then maybe getting it to a stage where you might be able to leave your 9-to-5 job. It's not going to be easy, but it's still possible. It's still realistic if you educate yourself and you learn about online marketing, and you learn about, you listen to our podcasts and other resources out there. It's still totally realistic if you find your right niche to build a really substantial business at the same time where you can still be employed. And there are not many realistic ways of doing that still left, is there, Travis?
No, there's not. Especially, you only have so much time in your day. So if you can create a great course and then obviously get people to download it, it's like music or like a podcast. If you can get millions of people to download, you don't have to actually record a million times. You just get to record once.
Exactly.
You have a million people listen to it one day.
So it's still possible, but I'm not going to mislead your listeners saying that it's going to be easy. Anything worth achieving isn't easy, is it?
Oh, no. And then like you've done with your show, you put in the work, and then next thing you know, you've built a serious reputation for yourself after you have 400 plus episodes or any 400 pieces of content, folks. 400 YouTube videos, 400 blogs, whatever it is. I think you're going to get better. And so now you doing your next show, you're even better. Like we're coming up on show 200. We've gotten better since we first started.
Exactly.
It's a guarantee.
And I'd like to point out on the WPtani website, we've got fantastic articles. We've got over 200 to 400 articles about every aspect of building an e-learning course.
That is awesome.
From what video equipment you might need, there's a load of posts, and there's a load of educational videos about different aspects, which I'm going to be expanding in 2020, Travis.
Yeah, I feel like a good show, possibly, I was even thinking for myself, is how to book podcast guests, how to build your show to where you're getting guests, and also you get to the point where you have guests wanting to book on your show.
Well, I think I've been very blessed in getting some of the biggest names in WordPress and outside, I've interviewed some people that I thought I would never interview on the show in the technology sector. Some of the leading people in social media, and people always ask me, how did you get those people booked? Well, I just did the outreach, and then when they politely said no, I put them on the list, and then I did some more outreach, and then in the end they said yes. So determination and just keep going.
Yes.
And you'd be surprised that people that do say yes to you if you approach them in the right way.
Right. Especially when you have a deep catalog like you have as well. That's the key, folks. It's not just being episode 1 and expecting you to get Elon Musk episode 1.
No, but
unless you're Warren Buffett or Bill Gates, unless you already have a huge following.
Or you have a personal connection with Mr. Musk. Yeah.
Yes. So unless you have that, or unless you have a huge other following, it's just like we talked about with the e-learning or anything you do in content. It's going to take time.
Well, actually, when it comes to Mr. Musk, maybe having a large volume of hash.
Yeah, you never know.
Probably would be a decent
bump into him on the Burning Man or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there we are.
Fascinating. Well, I think you are in a pipeline of more and more businesses taking this serious. I'm even thinking myself, like, what are we doing? I know we did some stuff and it worked out all right with one of the other platforms. I don't know how much effort we really put into it as far as like marketing it and things like that. Because I think the key, like anything, is marketing it too.
Oh, you're so right. People, for understandable reasons, I'm building also. I'll be publicising a very nice, powerful team that I've developed over the past 2 years that can help with video production, with project management, with initial consultation around the actual fundamental design. And of course, I have developed a kind of power team, which are going to be publicising a bit more. But I think people, for understandable reasons, get worried about the technology and also the production of the materials that will be part of their course.
Right.
But I think you're spot on. What they really need to concentrate on is what I call the foundations. And if your foundations of your house are rubbish, Travis, the house is never going to stay up that long. So what I call the foundations of a really profitable online e-learning business is really finding out the things that you want to teach, the course that you want to build. Will that really solve problems that your student base are really worried about or have concerns about?
Right.
And a lot of people don't do that like I always say to people, God put you on earth for a reason with 2 ears and 1 mouth. And the reason you got 2 ears and you've only got 1 mouth is that you should listen a lot more and speak a little bit less.
Yes.
Is that basically you need to do your research. You need to go on forums. You need to go on Facebook groups, and you need to listen to what the problems that you have experienced in a particular sector, but what are their concerns? And if you can get a quick victory on your initial course around some of those key problems that you've investigated, I think you're on the first steps to success, Travis.
Right. So put in the time to research if your topic or your course is even needed.
Exactly. And
or if you already have 500 people already answering that topic, maybe it's a better topic to focus on.
And you'd be amazed the amount of people that throw down 5,000, 10,000 with us, and they haven't done that basic research.
Right. It's so interesting. Yeah, people are just, they want it done. I want it done now. All right, Jonathan, I'll get it done. No problem. As a business owner, yeah, what are you going to do? You're going to get it done. Now you get it out. You get the best possible course on earth. Now you got to talk to someone about it. Now you got to market it. You got to get it out there somehow. The thing's not just going to sit there and go viral. I mean, that's a very rare amount of times that's going to happen.
No, it's not. But the great news is, it puzzles me, is that, around the e-learning, the amount of information is a little bit contradictory, because there are a number. I'm not going to pick on a particular individuals, but there are a couple really very large podcasts that were based on the argument that this is going to be passive income.
Right.
That this you go on their course and then you just build it out and it's just going to happen, right? Well, I think that's very misleading.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you find you need, you've got to really find you've got to nicheify, as I call it. I'm not sure there's actual English word called nicheified, but you've got to find that niche.
Right.
And you find that niche, and then you find the problems that are, and because we're dealing with a global market now, if there's any substantial group of people that you can help, you probably are going to be able to build a good business.
Yeah, or at least a side hustle, right? Like we started, like, at least you have some side income coming in. Maybe that pays off the car. Maybe that pays off a nice couple nights at a hotel somewhere. I know we're building a few side hustles. Part of what I like to do is build a community. And
exactly.
So started building communities around the things I love. We love cats. We started building the Funny Cats page. It has a viral nature to it because it's been built now. And now every post, my wife is one of our best posters. She goes viral with her posts and it gets 1,000 something shares on it.
Well, actually, you mentioned it, Travis, but can we keep it to ourselves though, Travis? But I want to tell you something I'm a little bit ashamed of.
What was that?
I've become hooked on Keith, the Siberian Husky.
Oh, nice. Okay.
He has a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yes,
with over 1 million.
Oh my God!
Subscribers.
I've seen a few videos. They're hilarious.
And it's I think Scottish young lady with Keith, the Siberian Husky.
Siberian Husky, yes.
And I've just got hooked on it, actually, Travis. Is there any hope for me?
There is, because there's millions of us watching this stuff, and and so the point is that you can just build out any community you like. You got to just put in the time. It doesn't happen overnight, but you focus on it, you build it, and you keep grinding. And at the end of the day, then it turns into maybe a little side business for you. It's not going to maybe pay off the mortgage, but the more effort and time you put into that side hustle, it might pay off the mortgage. Well,
Keith, I think the last video had about 500,000 downloads.
Yeah, exactly.
You think she would have her own website, and there'd be affiliate links to various pet products on Amazon. And with that kind of audience, I would imagine she should be making a very good living, shouldn't she?
Making a decent dough, just doing affiliate marketing. Not even having to produce the products, just having to send them over there for them to buy.
Exactly, but I have become very engrossed with Keith. He's got a stunning personality.
I'm going to have to check him out again, too, because I've seen a few. I saw one that came across my Apple News or something like that, but then I'm going to have to check him out, Keith. We're going to put that out there in the show notes, too, actually, just so that if those are listening to our editor, we can make sure we put that in there. But, my man, I really appreciate you. Now we're about to take you into our top 10. Are you ready?
Yes, I am, Travis.
Apple or Android?
Oh, Apple.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook.
Chicken or steak?
Steak.
Laptop or smartphone?
Laptop.
Spotify or Pandora?
Spotify.
Movies or video games?
Movies.
Reading books or listening to books?
Listening.
Stocks, real estate, or crypto?
Oh, real estate.
Real estate. Oceans or lakes?
Well, I love the sea, but I live very close to Lake Tahoe. But so I'm going to have to say both.
Lake Tahoe is so beautiful, man. That water is unbelievable.
It is, isn't it? It's amazing.
Me and my wife, we rented a boat and we took it out there into like the middle of like the Lake Tahoe, and just plunged in and like looked around, and it was like the clearest water I've ever seen in my life. It's unbelievable.
It is amazing, isn't it?
Coldest too, because it was kind of cold that day, but it was worth it. It was worth it. Beautiful area too. So you're blessed to live in such a nice area.
Yes, about 40 minutes. I live in the valley, the Carson Valley, so you're only 40 minutes drive, but you avoid having to kind of dig the snow for 200 days of the year trying to dig yourself out.
And you're on the better side of the tax law there as well.
Yes, exactly. And unlike the UK, we get 300 days plus of sunshine.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Carson City, shout out to them. Do you think that you will ever retire?
Probably not. For I've had about 6 years ago, I went through a very messy divorce, and so but it doesn't matter anyway. I'm recovering from that financial disaster, but fundamentally, I've known loads of people. I don't know if you've known a few, Trevor, that like retire. They're constantly talking about retirement, right?
Right.
When I retire, I'll do this, do that.
Oh, yeah, right.
And then they
right.
retire 2 years and then they get a massive heart attack and they're dead.
Yep.
I think if you're in the kind of job where you're always talking about when you're going to retire, I think you really should look at maybe a different job. I know that's easy to say than to do if you've got substantial commitments, but life is short, is it not, Travis?
Right. Yeah, or start the side business now. If you
Start a course. Start
the course now. Get things going now, because at the end of the day, I mean, I think retirement looks like different for everybody, but I always take inspiration from people like Warren Buffett.
Fundamentally, unless you've got a house in California or the Bay Area, the fundamentals, when you actually, it's a bit of a dirty secret. I know we're going slightly off topic here.
Yeah, that's all good.
But when you look at the fundamentals of the financial industry, especially since the financial crash of 2009, and the interest, the low level of interest rates, the kind of pot that you would need to have like income of $30,000 to $50,000 per year is enormous. You're looking over $1 million.
Right.
Now, if you've got a house in the Bay Area or certain parts of California or Florida, I'm sure that's totally possible. But for most people, that is not possible, is it not, Travis?
Not possible.
So it's a bit of a lie that the financial industry is putting out a bit, because they don't really want you to know that. Well, more realistic is to have an income so you don't have to be in full-time employment, or have a hustle that you've developed over a number of years that can help you with your pension income or the other savings you've got. So you're not committed to do a job that you hate when you get later on in your life. I think in some ways that's a more realistic outcome than the idea that you can swan around all of America on this imaginary pot of $1 million, which most people will never be able to get in the first place.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and I don't think you need $1 million. Obviously, that's just a number that I think they put out there as a goal. Hey, let's have $1 million. And I think when 20 years from now, $1 million might be a whole lot less than what we think it today. As we've experienced probably in our lifetimes a little inflation myself. I remember the $1 gas prices of 2000, like right before 1999, 2000, as $1 for gas. Yeah. Well, $1's not happening anymore, folks. On gasoline in California, it ain't happening. Just so you know. So that's the taxes, actually, just $1 per gallon in taxes. At least it's probably $3 a gallon in taxes in California here. But yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is finding multiple flows of income. Like not just having one, possibly, if you can have a variety, or if you get one that just really is ticking, like you might have built with your business. We've kind of built with ours is you get, you end up working on a variety of different things, and maybe one ends up really pushing big, and that's the one that really is the pipeline of business. And
no, I'm already planning on buying a Siberian Husky.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to call him Travis.
T-Huff. They call him T-Huff. Too tall. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
That's gonna pay for my retirement.
He's gonna be making rap videos. Make a Siberian Husky making rap video, doing lip syncing rap videos, or lip syncing the most current music videos.
I've got to tell you, actually, Travis, watching these videos, it's a bit daunting. When look in the eyes of this animal, this Travis, you really do see a level of intelligence that's quite amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure who's the pet. Is it the owner, right, or is it the Siberian Husky?
It's like, who's working for me over here?
I think you're giving me treats every day and walks, and your whole life revolves and keeping me happy. Who is the pet?
Totally. That's what I think about my cat all the time. She's like, let me outside now. I'm like, God, another time? You want to go outside again today? Like, who's running the house here? It's the cat. It's not even my daughter. She's doing good. It's my cat is running the house. How do you typically like to start your day? Do you have a routine? Do you have a way of getting yourself ready for the day?
I find I get up reasonably early. I get up around 6, and then I go for a walk.
Nice.
And then I listen to podcasting as I walk. I can't normally listen to podcasting when I'm actually working, but I tend to go for a 40-minute to hour walk. I always think the neighbours think I'm a burglar because I haven't got a dog, unfortunately. So, but it's very usual in the UK for people to walk. So I go for a nice walk, and I really find that very beneficial because it kind of because a lot of the time I'm in front of a computer screen in
Absolutely.
a little home office,
Right.
And just getting yourself out there at the beginning of the day really helps.
So important.
And then I also got I buy a little. I'm a member of a co-hosting facility in Reno, and after what I'm doing in the morning, I tend to moosey down there just to mix with people because there's various. It's the Reno Collective, actually. Give them a plug.
Reno Collective.
And, yes, the Collective, and I have a little table there that I pay a monthly fee for. And they have a nice conference and endless supply of coffee. So I work there till about 6 to 7, and then I moosey home and have something to eat and do various things, and I go to bed, Travers.
Then repeat, rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat.
Let's do this. So tonight, if you could sit down to dinner with anyone in the world, they're coming to you, Carson City or Lake Tahoe, somewhere beautiful looking over Lake Tahoe, and they're coming to you, my man, who would you be? Who would you want to sit down with tonight?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I think old Kromsky. You know, he's getting on now. He's in his 80s.
Yeah.
He's on his 80s, but I don't totally agree with everything he says. But the intellect of the man and the broadness of his knowledge is just breathtaking. And to spend a couple of hours just discussing all the people he's met, the things, the books he's written, I think that would be an amazing couple of hours, wouldn't it?
Would be fascinating. That would be fascinating. And then that leads me into my next question with you is, do you have a book that has changed your life or something you like to reread or something that just sticks to you?
Well, it's a little bit the book I'm listening to, because I suffer from a little bit of suffer. I don't like using that word, but I don't know what word to replace it. I suffer from a little bit of dyslexia. So I tend to listen to audiobooks and read. I just find it's just a bit of a quicker way of absorbing the information.
Absolutely.
And I've been listening to a book about Stalin.
Oh, Stalin! Wow.
Yeah, it's I forgot the name of the author, unfortunately, but it's 3 volumes, and this volume is the years just before the Second World War.
Wow.
And just discussing Mr. Stalin's managerial style. And just it's just been a kind of eye-opener what a maniac psychopath he truly was. You know.
Yeah, and you think and there's a lot of things going on in our world today. But when you think about it, like when you put it in perspective, like things were a lot worse.
Yeah, well, it's
50 or 100 years ago.
You just have to read. It is amazing. It's 9. I understand the actual written book is 900 pages.
Wow.
So it's not a short bedtime read.
Right.
I ploughed through my walks about half of it.
That's awesome.
But it's a really great book.
Yeah, it's interesting to learn from the history and the past. You know.
Yeah, they say history doesn't repeat itself. I don't totally agree with that. It doesn't. In reality, it doesn't repeat itself. But the tones, the flows,
right,
do definitely repeat themselves. And it's obvious that they do. Does it not, Travis?
Oh yes, absolutely. Look at the clothes. Look at the music. You know, and just it's for sure. You know, things that were popular in the 70s might be popping right now, 30 years later. Looking good. Go to the store. You might see some stuff you saw in the 70s. Well, that's
I'm still wearing my stuff.
Yeah, I've still got my stuff too from the 80s. So what's up? 81, baby. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the show today, Jonathan. I really think you're in the driver's seat with your business, WPtani. We'll definitely be putting that into the show notes as well. And those that are interested, please take advantage of my man. If you could give our listeners, where's the best place for them to find you? Where's the best place?
It is to go to all the podcasts, the blog posts, everything I've just discussed through our chat is on the WP-Tonic.com website.
Awesome.
It's all on there, actually.
That is awesome, my man. Put it in one place. And also, could you give our listeners one last real talk thought?
If you're in building an e-learning business, don't buy cheap hosting.
Ooh, fuego.
Get decent hosting, because I'm sick of hearing it, Travis. My website is slow. My students are complaining.
Right.
You need to spend you need to spend as much on your hosting as you're spending per week on your Starbucks.
Right. Oh, good point.
Right.
Good point.
Don't think you're going to build a great platform for your students by coughing up $10 a month. It ain't going to work for you.
Got you. So would you say it's $50 or $100?
Yeah, we do a plan that starts at 35, and
that's fair. Yeah.
And then next plan up is about 100.
Right.
But that includes a lot of extras that you won't get with other hosting providers, because we include all the software and support. But you can start at 35, and that will be a great starting block. But I am totally sick of hearing people saying that their website's dead slow, and they're on some hosting plan where they're paying between $5 and $10 a month.
Right. Yeah, you're going to get what you pay for, folks, in this world. Well, I think you were in the driver's seat like we talked about, and I want to wish you continued success, my man, and keep growing, keep grinding. And it's a pleasure to have you on the show today. Folks, you've been hanging out with Jonathan, Denwood, and Travis, Too Tall and Huff. I want to say thank you so much for your time today, and let's keep being real. This podcast is proudly sponsored by Real-Time Reputation. Do you have results and reputation that you need to uncover and find out in your business? Do you need more reviews and positive reviews to be showcased on your website? Well, now's the time. Check out Real-Time Reputation on Google, and let's get going. What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform, and also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it, and thank you so much for listening today.